Imagine the world ending, not with a bang, but with a silent, invisible disappearance that takes 8 minutes to register. It's a normal Tuesday afternoon. You're scrolling through your phone, maybe driving to work, or enjoying a cup of coffee by the window. The sun is shining, casting long shadows, warming the air. Everything is exactly as it should be. But what if, in that very moment, our sun, that giant golden furnace giving life to everything we know, simply wasn't there anymore? Not a supernova, not a slow fade, but just gone, poof, vanished. What happens next? And more importantly, what happens during those first terrifying 8 minutes? We're about to dive into the chilling, catastrophic scenario of our sun's sudden disappearance, exploring the immediate chaos and the long, cold death of our planet. Get ready, because this is a story about how utterly dependent we are on that big fiery ball in the sky, and how quickly its absence would turn our vibrant world into an uninhabitable tomb. The sun is gone, but you wouldn't know it, not yet. For the next 8 minutes and 20 seconds, everything would appear exactly the same. Light from the sun, travelling at an incredible 186,000 miles per second, takes about that long to reach Earth. So for those precious final moments, our planet would remain bathed in a phantom light. Birds would still chirp, flowers would still turn their heads to a sun that no longer exists, and you'd still feel its warmth on your skin. Even as its source had been annihilated millions of miles away. It's an eerie thought, isn't it, that for a brief period, the entire world would be living a lie, oblivious to the cosmic catastrophe that had already occurred. This grace period, this tiny window of normalcy, is perhaps the most chilling aspect of all. It's a profound testament to the vastness of space and the speed of light, where the news of our star's demise travels slower than any rumour. People would go about their day utterly unprepared, completely unaware that the countdown to absolute darkness had already begun. When the 8 minutes are finally up, the first thing to hit us would be the darkness. Not twilight, not night, but an instant, absolute blackness, unlike anything we've ever experienced. Every light source on Earth would suddenly become visible, twinkling against a backdrop of eternal night. The moon, which only shines by reflecting the sun's light, would vanish instantly. Planets like Mars and Jupiter would disappear too, no longer illuminated for us to see. Only the distant stars, twinkling faintly, and the artificial glow of our cities would pierce the gloom. This isn't just about losing daylight, it's about losing our cosmic anchor, the primary light source in our solar system. Imagine being plunged into such a profound, sudden dark. Panic would likely sweep through populations, a primal fear triggered by the loss of the most fundamental constant in our lives. The silence, too, would be profound. The familiar buzz of daytime activity, the sounds of nature during daylight hours, would give way to an unsettling quiet, broken only by the increasing alarm of humans and animals. This isn't just a power outage, it's the very fabric of our visual reality ripping apart. And then the true horror would begin to set in. As soon as the light goes, the first domino to fall would be photosynthesis. This isn't just a science class concept, it's the engine that drives almost all life on Earth. Plants, from towering trees to tiny algae in the ocean, rely on sunlight to convert carbon dioxide and water into food and oxygen. Without the sun, this process would grind to an immediate, irreversible halt. Within hours, plants would begin to die, turning pale and brittle. This means the entire food chain, from the smallest insect to the largest whale, would lose its foundation. Herbivores would starve, and with them, the carnivores that feed on them. It's a swift, silent massacre happening all around us. Oxygen levels in the atmosphere, constantly replenished by plants, would begin a slow, terrifying decline, meaning we'd eventually start to suffocate in an increasingly CO2-heavy atmosphere, even if other factors didn't get us first. But the darkness is only part of the problem. The sun doesn't just give us light, it gives us warmth. Its powerful rays keep our planet at a habitable temperature. Without it, Earth would rapidly cool down, transforming into a frigid, desolate wasteland. Think about it. Our planet is constantly radiating heat into space. The sun constantly replaces that lost energy. Take away the source and the thermometer plunges. Within a week, global temperatures would plummet far below freezing, dropping to an average of about 0 degrees Fahrenheit, 18 Celsius. Within a year, we'd be looking at temperatures around 100 degrees Fahrenheit, 73 Celsius, eventually stabilizing at a terrifying 400 degrees Fahrenheit, 240 Celsius, colder than almost anywhere in the outer solar system. Rivers, lakes, and eventually even the vast oceans would begin to freeze over. The oceans, once a massive reservoir of warmth, circulating heat around the globe, would transform into an expanding sheet of ice, trapping marine life beneath a frozen lid, eventually freezing solid for miles down. Imagine the sheer, unbridled power of nature turning against us, not with a fiery rage, but with an agonizing, silent chill. Our modern world, for all its technological marvels, is built on a foundation of sun-powered energy. We are utterly unprepared for an event like this. Think about your daily life. You turn on lights, charge your phone, drive your car, heat your home. Almost all of these depend directly or indirectly on electricity, and much of that electricity relies on complex power grids that would quickly fail. Solar panels obviously would cease to function immediately. But even fossil fuel power plants and nuclear reactors rely on a functioning society, supply lines, and human oversight. As the planet plunges into darkness and extreme cold, these systems would break down. Power grids would flicker and die, plunging cities into an icy, inescapable blackness. Communication systems, cell phones, internet, radio would follow, severing all contact between people, leaving everyone isolated in the growing cold and darkness. Societal breakdown wouldn't be far behind. People, desperate and fearful, would quickly turn on each other. Chaos, looting, and survival of the fittest mentality would become the norm. Food supplies, already limited for many, would rapidly dwindle. Most of our food production depends on agriculture, which depends on sunlight. Refrigeration would fail, ruining existing fresh food. Canned goods and dried foods would only last so long. Within weeks, mass starvation would become rampant. Water systems would freeze solid, cutting off access to drinkable water. With no power, no heating, no food, and no communication, disease would spread rapidly among the weakened, freezing populations. Our complex, interconnected society, so fragile beneath its shiny facade, would unravel with terrifying speed, leaving billions to face a slow, agonizing end. Cities, once bustling hubs of human activity, would become frozen monuments to a civilization that utterly failed to adapt to the most fundamental change imaginable. As Earth continues its long, slow freeze, its very nature would transform. Our atmosphere, so crucial for life, would undergo drastic changes. The troposphere, the lowest layer where all our weather happens, would shrink significantly as the air cools and contracts. Global wind patterns, once driven by the sun's uneven heating, would become chaotic, eventually dying down as the planet reaches a uniform, frigid temperature. The freezing oceans would dramatically impact the Earth's albedo, or reflectivity. A bright, icy surface reflects more sunlight back into space, locking the planet into a deep freeze, even if the sun somehow reappeared after a long time. Our once vibrant blue and green oasis, teeming with life, would become a desolate white and black sphere, a cosmic ice ball silently hurtling through space. Could anything survive? Perhaps. In the deepest, darkest parts of our oceans, far below where sunlight ever reaches, there are incredible ecosystems clustered around hydrothermal vents. These black smokers spew superheated, chemical-rich water from the Earth's interior, fueling chemosynthetic organisms, bacteria and archaea that create their own food from these chemicals, not sunlight. These creatures form the base of an entire food chain, supporting strange, wonderful life forms like tube worms and blind shrimp. For a time, these isolated pockets of life might persist, completely independent of the sun's energy. They could be the last bastions of life on a dying planet. But even these hardy survivors would face insurmountable challenges. Eventually, the planet's core might cool slightly faster without the sun's gravitational tug, or the extreme cold permeating the Earth could gradually reduce the geothermal activity. The sheer overwhelming cold of the rest of the planet would eventually permeate even these deep sanctuaries. So even these incredible, tenacious survivors would eventually succumb to the extreme cold one by one. The ultimate end would be a silent, frozen testament to a world once bathed in sunlight. Our Earth, a planet that once glittered with liquid water and swarmed with life, would become a dark, frozen rock, eternally circling a space where its star once was. It's a chilling reminder of our utter, complete dependence on that distant, fiery sphere. We often take the sun for granted, but its constant warmth and light are not just crucial for our comfort, they are the very definition of our existence. Its sudden absence wouldn't be just a dark day, it would be the end of days for everything. If you found this chilling journey into the void captivating, then make sure to check out our next video right here.